Well, guys already know who I am. My name is Chloe Roma. I'm an international men's rights advocate, first person on social media to ever do it. Down here all the way from Canada. I'm 28 years old.
What's everybody's relationship status? So are you single, relationship, married, whatever?
My longest relationship was 9 years.
And were you married?
Yes.
Just one time?
Yes.
All right. No kids, right?
Nope.
Okay. Married 9 years. Who initiated the divorce?
He did.
Okay. Any alimony in any direction?
He said he pays me a little bit.
In my opinion, no woman should be getting in, or man should be getting into a relationship where you are 100% depending on that person. The whole idea of I want to support
But
them.
that's
I
what a
wanna
marriage
travel.
is.
But
You
hold on,
literally
hold on,
signed
I'm
up.
not
No, because you interrupted me. She's interrupted me.
I didn't interrupt you at all, actually.
Both of you have, and I'm not going to try to interrupt you, but
Okay,
I'm
sure, you can
saying
go
that
ahead, sure.
you are talking about all these factors that may just apply to you.
You don't
or
know what
your
I'm talking about
opinion.
because I didn't finish.
Yeah, I haven't been
So-
able to finish a single sentence.
Go ahead. I'd love to hear you.
Thank you. What I'm saying is she got married at 19. So she's not even emotionally mature. He's not emotionally mature. I'm not defending her, but I wasn't even getting to that point because both of you just talk over everybody. But the point being is that she got into this marriage expecting to stay with him forever because that's a commitment you make.
Right.
And you guys are trying to just like narrow it down to this label on her and blaming her for everything when you don't even know him or have talked to him, but yet we're so quick to defend him.
I don't believe
I
we're
actually-
doing that.
I feel
No,
like-
we're not defending him. We don't know him enough.
I actually
to
started
defend
by
him.
saying not to judge you,
Right.
put you down. I don't know
But
your
you can say that, but
situation.
it's what you're doing.
Sure.
You could say you're not.
Maybe if you're
but still
small-minded,
doing it.
sure.
Yeah,
But
I
if you
think
let me
you're already
finish
going back
and
to
understand-
degrading.
Let me know when I can speak. Am I good?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. We don't know everybody's situation, right? I never want to sit here and judge you. I don't know you from a hole in the wall. And you seem incredibly sweet. I kind of like you.
I appreciate it.
At the end of the day,
Kinda.
the reality is we are responsible for our choices. I had a baby at 19. I was in an extremely abusive relationship. I had no education. I came from social services. I didn't have parents. I was born in an orphanage in Romania. Zero. All the cards stacked against me. When the abuse got bad, when I had my daughter, I left. Okay? And I haven't taken one penny of child support from him. Argument could say maybe I deserve it, right? I fled. I was homeless. I had a baby strapped to my chest going to a train station at 2 a.m. Unfair. But the reality is that you have to take responsibility for your own life at some sort of time. And my point is that you can't go back. That's why I'm not going to judge you. I don't know your situation. But what I would say is to any men and any woman, do not put yourself in a situation where you are going to be financially dependent solely on somebody else because you're going to get fucked over. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't, okay? But that's just the reality. You're going to get judged sometimes, and you're going to have conversations like this. You can't go back, but I'm sure if you could, you probably would have done it different, correct?
Oh, yes, I would have done a lot
Okay.
of things very differently.
Right. But it's just not the argument of like, well, you know, I made this choice and I left when I was 19. That's awful, and I sympathize with you there, but it's not his responsibility for the rest of your, like, until you get back on your feet to pay you for that. That makes no sense. And if a man were sitting here and saying the exact same thing, I'd probably be harsher with him and be like, you're a fucking loser. Just women, we're not taught to be rude to each other like that. And I don't think you're a loser. Thank you. Probably because you're a woman and I have some sort of like bias there. But if it was the man sitting here, yeah, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Get your shit together. It's not her responsibility.
So I don't like us trying to put labels or degrade people when we don't even know their situation, when we weren't there for the 9 years of it. So we have no idea what we're talking
I
about.
hope you don't feel degraded.
But
Yeah, it's not that
okay,
you're
good.
not
what I
an
am
amazing
saying,
person.
and also it doesn't necessarily matter how I feel because we're gonna have lawmakers who put it up anyway.
Look, the reality is that men are falling behind in education. They're falling behind in their careers. Women are actually starting to get paid more. There's OnlyFans. There's all of this stuff. So you mark my words, in the next 10, 20 years, when women are out earning men, you're going to see things like child support and alimony. They're going to be capped. They're going to be like, no more, because ain't no way women are going to be paying men that they no longer date. It's such a double standard. We're not going to fucking do it. So it's like the moment we get paid, it's fine. But the moment we're going to have to pay men, you're going to see an uproar.
But like
I
at
think
that
it's
point,
all
if you're going to
outdated.
invest into your education and have money on the standby and have a supportive family, like why even get married then?
Was curious, so just show of hands, who here is currently single? Show of hands, are you currently single? All right. When's the last time you had carnal knowledge? Or multiple guys? Wait, multiple guys?
Yeah.
How
Do
many-
you guys
wait.
get regular STD checks? Like, do you just have them
that's
beside your
pretty
bed now?
every 2
regular
weeks.
Do you pee
to
and
go
you pee and dip?
and get a regular test at a lab.
Crazy.
Pee, swab,
everything,
blood.
Yeah,
everything.
blood, urine, and rectal and oral swab.
like, have, like-
every 10 days.
I guess
Every 10
coworkers.
days?
Every 10 days?
Yep. Every 10 to 14.
Damn.
10 days is
depending.
At least
I
you're
usually go
responsible.
every, if I'm actually shooting, I usually go every 2 weeks.
So you have a partner, right?
Yeah.
You just
At
shoot
least
with your
2 weeks is
partner.
normal.
Typically we have been shooting with each other for the past couple months.
If you were a mother, if you had a daughter, and she came to you and she said, hey, guess what, Mom? I'm going to do this challenge where I go let 100 guys, stick it in me, raw dog
I
me.
mean,
Bonnie
would that
Blue's
be
mom
something
cleans
that
up after her
would
orgies.
make you, like, how would you feel about that?
I think for me, my child's life is my child's life. If they're 16 and they want to go do a bunch of weird stuff, no. But
It's not going to bother you if your kid
at
wants
18,
to do
if
something
they-
that's harmful?
I think the whole discussion comes to, like, are they still living in the house with me? Am I still paying for them?
But would you want
Or are
that for your
they-
child?
If you don't,
Because I feel like saying, sorry,
No, you're
I
fine.
feel like saying, like, it's their choice is either disingenuous or
I would
you're
say
just not a mom yet
no.
and you don't have
I would
that,
say
like,
no. I wouldn't want it for my child because I know how long it took me to get to do it safely and to do it without being like manic.
So something that some people know about me, but not really, is I used to do sex work. So I started when I was like, I think 22. I never had an OnlyFans. I like ran it through my Patreon. And the reason is because I was dating somebody, and as soon as I got famous, he like leaked all that shit. So everybody was like, oh, you should do one. So I did it. Now, I'm a mom. I have a son. I quit before my son, but I have a daughter. She's 8. I have a son who's 3. And I have 2 younger siblings who's 13 and 10. And one thing that I can say, speaking completely from experience, is once it's out there, it's out there. And when you become a mom and you look into the face of this like precious little baby that you created, there is a level of shame that I will never be able to describe.
Okay.
Now you started after your brain was fully developed. You made the choice. There are a lot of girls who start at like 22, 23. They don't think about the implications. They don't think, wow, is my little brother going to get bullied at school? Is my son's friends going to see this? So like, I think you may be speaking from a position of naivety, which is fair because you're not a mom.
My monthly allowance from each was like $3K.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then would they sometimes
I was
just
young,
give
though.
you
I was, like,
random
21.
cash, give you gifts?
Yeah, or like if they take you shopping, they'll usually pay for everything. Dinner, they're paying for everything.
Okay.
Does that
Things
not
like
bother
that.
you that someone can like access your body for $3,000?
Well, I mean, the thing is, you don't have to say yes to anybody.
They're just going on a date.
No,
and there's
they're
no
not.
sex.
That's what they
they're
say.
not.
That's true. That's true. Because
there's-
even out here on this trip, like the
Yeah.
guy that I see, he sent me $1,000 for like just
Has he
food
seen you
and
naked?
travel and all of that.
Has he seen you naked at all?
Oh yeah, my Twitter is
Congratulations,
full of
you're
naked
escorting.
stuff.
If
Well, no,
somebody
but
is
I'm saying-
exchanging you money because they saw you naked or because they are going to see you naked,
There's also
that is
pay
prostitution.
pigs on my page. There's also people who are cucks and want to pay to just
But
see
I
this
think what-
content. Like,
I think what Lindsay's getting
prostitution.
at is that there are women who do receive money from
That
men.
is prostitution.
Yeah.
when somebody pays to just see
Escorting
your.
is just a pretty word
But
for
the
prostitution.
differential.
No, a cuck is not a
The differential
prostitution.
that we're talking about here is that these women are receiving money, and you might still categorize it as prostitution, but they're not actually having sex with them. And in some cases, these women, they don't even meet up with some of these guys. The guys are just sending them money.
Because you say, like, it's not unethical because nobody's falling in love, there's this pre-agreement. If you saw a client that was falling in love with you, that was starting to build this delusion in their mind that you were, because I'm sure you care, but there's a level of, like, you're getting paid, so you
Yeah,
can't, it's not like
exactly.
caring for a friend, right?
Yeah.
If you saw that they were emotionally overstepping the boundaries you guys
I would
had
have
in
to cut
place,
it off.
would you you. Okay,
I would have to cut it
that's
off.
the question. Okay.
How do you pick up those signs? Is there like a certain point where you're like, this guy is showing way too much emotion to be my client now?
I mean, it's kind of the same red flags as like a first date. You know, if somebody like says something, you get that like,
Like, because I've had
I'm
marriage
a
proposals
write that
where,
one
like,
down type thing.
you know, you have to say no and set those boundaries. But if they still want to see you, that's still their choice. They sought you out in the beginning, and they're choosing to see you after you set those boundaries as well.
That's like a drug dealer being like,
Yeah.
don't overdose, but
Yeah.
hey, you're going to buy this fentanyl off of
It's
me.
their
so
choice
they
to
gonna
come get
die
the drug
from
that they're
having-
addicted to.
You have to have morals.
But are they going to die from having sex with me?
If you guys had, especially you seem to be most vocal about your job and the ins and outs of it. If you had somebody that came to you that was like, well, not a millionaire, I guess, but like if you had like a rich guy, even a guy that you fell in love with, he's handsome, family man, and he was like, you just fell head over heels, and he was like, no more OnlyFans, would you stop?
If he's paying my bills, yeah.
Yes. So that's what it come down to, is paying the bills.
I'm being taken care of.
Honestly,
Like,
I'm just being taken care of and like letting me be able to do something besides OnlyFans, like taking care of me so I can go to school and do some other things. I would literally quit today.
So why not go to school now? Sorry, why not save you guys?
Not
if you're
everybody
making
has those
20,000,
means.
why don't you
But nobody
go to school?
That doesn't mean everybody grew up with those means, and that means like there
But
are
you
things
do.
in
I'm
their
talking to
life.
you.
Oh,
You have
No,
20K.
I pay my mom's bills, and I have other people that I'm
Right, I
supporting.
pay my family's bills too. That's
right,
not the
so
question.
then you don't know my finances.
That wasn't the question.
told us
Why does the
But
end
then why are
game
you
have to
making
be
it
to
that
get out of
question?
sex work though?
Exactly.
You
I don't
told-
think sex
I don't
work
think
is
Maybe
healthy.
it's well
You're
then
good
that's
at
a
mental
personal
gymnastics.
that's a personal
Also, to get
opinion.
a
It might be
degree
a
and be
personal
80
opinion, but if you
grand.
look at society as a whole right now, society as a whole, dating is not going great, and I
No.
don't think that OnlyFans helps that at all.
She's in a happy relationship, but nobody's going to approach you, and be like, "Hey, let me pay your bills and come cook and clean for me."
Good, I
Nobody's
don't
gonna do
want
that.
that. I don't want that.
But you just said that you would.
no, I didn't.
we
She
said that we would.
She would.
She said she would stop if that was on the table.
We have Lindsay. Okay, Lindsay, in your notes, you say you wanted to talk about how celebrities always want to F porn stars and escorts behind closed doors, but pretend they hate them or disagree on camera or with other people. You write that you've F'd Trevor Wallace, LeGarrette Blunt. Wait, hold on.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Okay, no idea. Who's that? And then you also write, you follow this up, you've been asked to rim these athletes.
Why would you even say that? Who said that?
Rim these athletes
Who are we
that are
talking about?
low-key gay but pretend they're not.
why are you outing them?
a lot of them.
You?
No, a lot of the athletes pretend that they're like super straight, but then they only want stuff done to their dirty
bunghole.
star.
Damn.
Why would you say that though? If you're out here sleeping with like high level people, why would you even break confidentiality and be like, yeah, I licked that guy's asshole? Like, doesn't that just make you like
I
a
didn't sign
bitch?
an NDA.
There was
But-
no NDA.
No.
That might
Wait, That
doesn't
hinder
matter. It's-
other
it's
people. wanting
general-
to
Okay, but
work
if you
here.
come to my house and you shit your pants because you got so drunk, I didn't sign an NDA, but I'm probably not going to go on the internet and be like, this dumb bitch shit her pants.
Yeah.
You could.
You don't feel
I
bad?
never have, but no. I mean, I feel bad for the wives at home that have these married men who are
Why?
paying for me.
Oh, they have wives.
If you
Yeah.
feel bad for them, then why are you
fuck
sleeping them?
You don't feel that bad.
Right.
I mean, I
Why
don't know
do you-
this till later, but my point being, like, they're the ones paying me and seeking out me.
Why
So
do
as
you
long as there's
think?
money involved.
I say
Why do you
take
think
the
it's
points
your
and
right
just
to out
not.
somebody like that?
Yeah.
Why?
Especially,
Why
like,
do they find it their right
You're
to
like
cheat on their
outing
wife?
somebody.
They took care of you though. You
Took care of me
entered
how?
you entered a confidentiality agreement whenever
No, we
you
didn't.
decided to take money from that person.
I didn't
You-
take money from
You
those
entered
men.
a contract of respect.
didn't take money
of
from those men.
general human respect for somebody.
I didn't
To
take
go
money from
on
those
a show
men.
like this. Sorry, it's very upsetting to go on a show like this and name names.
Yeah.
And then talk about like the things that you guys did behind closed doors in which he paid you to keep that secret.
They didn't
I
pay
hope
me.
you get sued, actually.
Yeah. Either
I
way.
think that's a pretty
Did they
vile
pay you?
thing to do.
One, I didn't get paid.
Okay, so I'm just in the middle of editing, and I just find it so funny that she's about to claim here that she never got paid from these guys. However, in her initial note to the show, her issue was that these men fuck with escorts behind closed doors, but in public they say they hate them. And now suddenly she never got paid by them? Why would you be bad then? Interesting.
Even if you didn't get
Two,
paid,
I
a lot
didn't
of the
sign
guys
an
paying
agreement.
you
That
aren't
makes it
going to want to
worse.
sleep with you
No.
now.
And you were getting paid if you were doing stuff with all these high level people.
They're all
They're
going to
not
leave.
even
They're
that
not going
high
to be your
level.
clients anymore.
My
just
point
lost
being,
so much
they're not
clientele,
even
girl.
that high level. But at the same time, like, first off,
don't
I didn't
attack
get
the
paid.
person.
Yeah,
suck.
I know. We Listen and We Don't Judge has totally left the room because it's
I
just
totally I
biased
judge.
depending on who you like in here. So, anyways.
No, I judge.
No, but the point
Everybody
being,
judges.
if I didn't get paid, I didn't sign a confidentiality agreement, and that person and I, like, I just don't like the double standard where it's like,
Wait, she didn't even specify who the athletes
Yes, she
are.
did. She named names.
named
Yes, she
names.
did.
Yeah, but she didn't say that those specific guys were the low-key gay ones that she
She
rim
implied
jobbed?
it.
no,
She
that's
implied
that's
it.
different one.
Is that the,
Yeah.
that is the implication?
Yes, Brian.
I don't know.
Do you want to work with
I don't
anybody
even know
ever
who
again?
the fuck is Lazarette. Who the fuck is Lazarette? Am I saying his name right?
Big enough for her to name drop him,
Google
I
him.
guess.
Somebody will look it up.
Lazarette Blunt. I don't know who the fuck. I don't know who it
It's
is.
LeGarrette Blunt.
I just think it's funny
LeGarrette.
that you are now all like,
Who is that guy?
we don't listen, we listen and we don't judge. When like my first impression of you was outside when you and your friend, in between talking about what kind of plastic surgery y'all want, you were talking about how shitty this podcast is. It's just a dumb podcast. How
Damn.
shitty Brian is.
Oh.
And now you want to sit here and be like,
Okay,
we
all right.
listen and we don't judge. Do you understand the implications of like essentially outing somebody on the internet? I feel like it should be illegal because especially if you look within the black community, homophobia is so rampant where it actually ends in like acts of violence.
Yes.
So I don't even know who you just name dropped, but number one, you just fucked your chances of ever getting a big name client. But number two, your actions could have indirectly caused harm to come to somebody else. And I just want to
You
know,
don't think
like,
that their actions cause indirect harm to their
you
family by
literally-
hiring a girl?
you
Or
took
even
money
just
from
sleeping
them.
with
You
somebody?
are
And you
on
literally
no
stated
moral high
that
ground.
they
But
are keeping this stuff secret.
also, I want to clear the air because where were you outside? Because it wasn't you out there
Wait.
talking to us.
Stop. Hold on.
Yeah, we can't be talking
hold on.
specifics. about
Don't
that.
talk
No, I'm not going to talk about location.
specifics.
I'm not
We
going to talk
won't.
about
Okay,
location.
go ahead.
I'm saying, like, I have Lucy Lotus, who was with me last time, was on the phone, and I was talking to her, and I never even talked about this podcast at all.
I don't know
during
what
that phone
that has to do with
conversation.
anything I just
what
said.
you just said, because you just made a blatant lie, trying to say that I was talking
You
badly
were
about the
talking
podcast.
shit. Lindsay, I thought we were homies.
That's
Lindsay.
my point.
I thought we were
Lucy
Caucasians.
Lotus and I
Why you
love the
talking
show.
shit?
Okay, so that
Why
didn't
you
happen.
talking shit,
No,
bro?
Lucy,
when your
Lucy was
friend-
supposed to
What the
be
fuck,
here
Lindsay?
with me. Lucy wanted
You
to
want
see
some
you
smoke?
again. I know.
So
You want the smoke?
No,
when
we
your
don't.
friend with the
we're
Botox
good.
comes out,
Anyways.
she's gonna deny that, right? That was never said. I'm just making it up. I just came on this podcast to lie.
You are welcome to reach out to Lucy Lotus.
I don't know who that is.
No, she's saying when you
Your
guys were
friend
waiting
with the
earlier-
Botox, when she comes out and I ask her, she's gonna have the. She's listening, so she probably will back you up. But
No,
I honestly was standing right there and I don't
heard
even
one of
remember,
them say-
so I can't help you.
I don't know if it was her or the other girl, but I did hear
it
one
was all of
them
them.
say
It was all three of them. Thank you.
Wait,
I was there.
Snitch.
I don't recall.
Chloe.
I was like, I was
What were they saying?
standing there,
Tell me what
like-
they were saying. So
I
what
was
did they
talking about
say?
how
What did they
scared
talk
I
shit
was.
about me?
Like-
Tell me about what they said about me. I want to know.
My whole point is you can't come on here and be like, listen
Okay.
and don't judge when you were like judging before you even came in here.
So judgmental, Lindsay. You are so
Let's keep the same
judgmental.
energy.
He feels
I know.
judged.
You
Really
know what?
rude.
I totally
See
am.
in his
can't
face.
believe-
It's okay.
I can't.
At the end of the
believe
day, I'm still
you would
fed
say
and go
mean
home.
things
I don't
about me.
care.
The end of the
believe she
day,
would say
I
mean
still
things.
spread my legs for money, so who cares?
Yeah, you know, it's some disgusting tats I'm gonna die with. So yeah.
I think it's kind of messed up though that you're judging the men for sleeping on their wives when you take money for sex.
That makes you worse. Taking money
How
from
can you
sex,
judge them for that when you're doing something that is arguably about on the same level? It's all adultery.
Regardless
Cheat on
if
their
it's an
wives
escort
anyway.
or not, you're still
80%
gonna
of
get
the
cheated on.
80% of the OnlyFans
Do you realize how
subscriber
much
men
harder
are
it would
married.
be? Do you realize how much
that?
harder it would be for those men to cheat on their wives if no women were willing to sleep with them?
But wait, what?
That doesn't even make an argument.
Because
yes, it does. A man gonna cheat.
Women,
a man's
He gonna
cheat.
find the woman that's willing.
No,
Okay,
if women were chaste until marriage,
it's not even just
the
women.
men would not be sleeping and cheating on their wives.
It's not
They
even
wouldn't
just
be able to find
women.
one.
What about the animals who get abused? The children.
animals.
They would just fuck other guys.
No, but I'm
What are
saying,
you
you're
talking
trying to say,
about?
like, oh, if we weren't here for them to sleep with, they would just be honorable. They would be loyal.
They wouldn't be able to find a woman to sleep with if the
You're right,
women
so then
weren't
they
willing
fuck
to
something
sleep with
else.
them.
They would get homie head
That's
instead,
literally
girl.
why
What you
sex
talking
toys are
about?
made. That's
Wife,
why,
then.
like, we have abuse.
So why are
of
you going
children
to
and
help them
animals.
cheat on their wives?
I'm
If
not
it bothers
helping.
you that
I'm not
they
helping
do.
them with anything. They sought out me.
You're there to do it.
You're good at mental gymnastics, right? You're like Andrew Tate. You'll
Yeah, I was
say
on a
something,
debate team, and my mom
you'll
worked
be
in
like, well, you're not
politics,
that
so
good
yes.
at it. So B minus. What did you get? Like, this is
I know.
not-
I can't imagine that you were mad about how much money I make, but it's like just because you didn't make that doesn't mean other girls.
Nobody's
can't.
mad about how much
I
you
made
make.
1.8 million.
$8
Thank
million?
you.
Over, like,
and I
what,
didn't
10
sleep
years?
with one person to do it. You're good at mental gymnastics, right? So she'll say something, and you'll be like, "Well, men fuck dogs." What she's trying to say is, you cannot sell crack. And then be like, well, fuck these crackheads. You are contributing to men.
I'm not saying
listen,
fuck these
please,
crackheads
you are, because
or
you're saying
these
fuck
men.
these cheaters.
Yeah.
But you are taking money.
No, because
so
you're
they
trying to
cheat on
say
you.
these poor men.
Nobody
saying
said
that.
these poor
You
men.
did.
Nobody
Oh,
said
you
these poor
exposed
men.
these
Girl,
men,
I
these
need a
poor
minute.
men.
You know what? Can I say something in regards to that, though? I think a lot of times I have seen men come on this podcast bragging about 300 body counts, talking about girls with like 11 bodies are disgusting. And I just want to point out that the men who are sleeping with all these women with like syphilis still coming out of their dick have no fucking place to sit here and like tell women that they're gross, because y'all both are gross, in my opinion. I would not date a man that has a body count of like, it depends on his age, to be honest, but like I have turned down. I was seeing someone like a couple years ago, and I didn't sleep with him because he was 28 and told me he lost count at 48 bodies, and I'm just like, ew. Like, you don't respect sex. I'm another notch in your belt. You're probably not going to talk to me tomorrow morning. Like, I just want that to, sometimes on this podcast, there's like some double standards, especially when it comes to body count. I just want to make that very clear, that you are not cool if you go around fucking a bunch of women. You are just as much of a hoe.
Also, if you're like spreading diseases,
Well, and
Out here
That's-
spreading diseases and
fucking gross.
BV and talking
Especially
about
when they sleep around a bunch and then they come and they say, but I want to
We go to the parties,
My
like
mom's
sometimes
not
I'd be
proud of
fucking
me.
like 15 people, 15 plus.
You've slept with
When you go
15 plus people at a party?
in a night.
That is fucking disgusting.
Well, you all get tested, okay?
That doesn't matter.
That's
You
a
are
start.
taking 15 dicks at once. You don't feel any shame. Like, you go home at the end of the day and you look at yourself in the mirror and you feel
Not
good.
at the
In
same
one party,
time,
at
but
one
I
party.
go to one.
That's
Yeah,
worse.
so-
I need a blessing. I don't
don't
like
believe
how
in
like
that.
I'm gonna catch something just sitting here.
But I just don't like how
We
you called
just
her
put chairs
disgusting,
up.
but then you're
so,
just
man.
sad facing over her when
If
she
you
had more
count
than
the
her.
ones that I
Exactly.
finished, I'm gonna have to say 25.
I think
Wait,
that-
Wait, hold
that
on.
you-
If you count all the body counts where I actually finished,
Climax.
my body count is 25.
That's not how you count them, though.
That's what I'm
They
gonna
don't. They
count
don't
it.
just not count because you didn't finish.
Wait, no, don't leave. What did you say? That I was nicer to her than I am her? It's simple because
You
she
said something.
Yeah, no, it's
She
fine.
said,
I'm used
"Why
to
did
it.
you call her disgusting?" And then and sad faced me.
I do think that 500 bodies is disgusting, but I also think that you've been very open and honest, and I think you've been through a lot in your life. As a woman, I don't think that I should judge every single woman. I judge them based off of how they act, and my first impression of you was that you were better than everybody. You don't need this podcast. It's a trash-ass podcast. You're outside talking about what surgeries you want next and sitting here deep-throating the mics. Like, you don't give me the impression of
did I miss
somebody...
that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
of somebody-
we all at one
of
point
somebody that I want to
deep-throated a mic.
empathize with. There's no empathy there. And you're friends with somebody that's like happy to help men cheat on their wives. So I'm sorry, I don't relate to you. I can relate to her as a woman and as a level of a human being. You just seem
That's okay. I guess
quacky. I don't know.
You're allowed
That's
to
just
your
my
own
opinion.
Yeah, well, you're allowed
That's
to
my
your
opinion.
opinion.
Like I said earlier, I don't think women or men should heavily put themselves in a position where they're 100% reliant on somebody else. I think that's stupid. What I think is being taken advantage of is it's been weaponized, even to the point we saw it with that crash out Kylie, right? She felt like she was humiliated.
Yeah.
She was wrong. And instead of taking back accountability, she decided to use buzzwords and like put the reputation
And the way that
of the
she
men
was
on this podcast at
speaking-
risk.
Before we get into the body cam footage, I need to shout out today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Vacciatoni. Vacciatoni is a cologne brand that I am in love with. They have 2 colognes, CEO and 11. I have 11 right here. I actually left CEO in Austin, Texas because I carry it with me everywhere. CEO is the favorite by you guys. You guys have ordered a lot of this cologne and you love it right alongside me. I've been approached by many fragrance companies over the years and I've rejected all of them because none of them smell good, and I'm not here to sell you a product that I would not use every day. These colognes are absolutely delicious. They also have very well-made beard care, so please go check them out. They are the first men's care company to ever sponsor a men's rights advocate. Support them and use code Roma Army. Also, if you would like to support this podcast and you would like to support this channel and my journey as a men's rights advocate, please consider going onto my Patreon and subscribing. I can see thousands of unseen content, behind the scenes footage, participate in my content, talk to me daily, get free merch, and literally so much more. Please consider supporting. It's patreon.com/Roma Army. I just feel like everybody's a girl's girl until they're not. Like you. Like you're probably, would you describe yourself as a girl's girl?
Well, you weren't here for my last time I was here on this podcast, but I was speaking up about femicide and SA and all the other things
Yeah, I'm
that
just talking
affect
about girls,
women.
girls. So you a girl's girl?
Yeah, I was getting there.
Okay, so yes, you are. Okay, so you're a girl's girl, yet you will take money from other wives' husbands just to pay your own bills, and you were kind of like, well, that's their fault for paying for sex. So there's this like double standard where we're like, oh yeah, we're girls until it just like no longer benefits us, until we can weaponize it against each other, against men. And I find it absolutely moronic. It's supposed to be equality. Equality means accepting equal responsibility. And I see a hell of a lot of women in 2025 demanding a man from the 1960s that's going to pay their bills and do this and do that. Meanwhile, they want to disrespect men like a 2025 woman and just like, they just don't act it. They don't have the decorum to demand that kind of respect.
But then what about women like me who've been a breadwinner in every single relationship, and I prefer to pay for myself and pay for them, because then it's all on me.
You prefer to pay for your partner?
I do.
In all instances.
I do.
Yeah, but what's your point?
Everything?
Yeah, you can't just generalize all women like that.
How did I please be specific?
You just did.
No, I used a very specific
modern feminist.
I used a specific example for you, which was claiming you're a girl's girl, yet knowingly taking money and taking husbands away from wives because they're paying you. And I said that a lot. Obviously, not all women. That's kind of a given. But yeah, a lot of them, you see it, and it's not necessarily them. It's the reaction to them that speaks higher to the issues with feminism. Because that girl can go on here and be like, I was a victim. And there's people starting GoFundMes. Or the brick lady. Do y'all remember the brick lady? You remember that woman that popped up on social media and she's like, I rejected these 2 black men and they hit me in the face with the brick. You remember that? She had this big swollen cheek. She garnered $40,000. And I knew something was up with that woman. So I researched her, and she has a history of being a victim of like random, not necessarily hate crimes, just like, you know, some woman like ran her cart into her in the parking lot, and she's like, oh, it's, you know, because I'm black. And she would get all of these different donations. And so I noticed that. I called it out, and I got called a racist for an entire year. I love how she's like not looking at me. She's like, okay. Anyways,
I just
over
don't
here.
care to interact with you.
Okay, but you asked me a question.
It's a victim
Because you've been rude this whole time to me, so I don't want to interact with you.
She garnered $40,000. Nobody looked into her. I looked into her, got called a racist by the entire internet for a year until the authorities actually did the research into this woman. And I was right. She had an allergic reaction to Botox. They took CTV footage. There was no men that hit her in the face with a brick. She's now being charged, forced to pay all of that money back, and nobody thought twice. And I got villainized and demonized for just being honest, right? And it happens all the time. Even in this conversation, you're checked out because I'm calling you on something that you don't like. So you'll be abrasive. You'll be like, this is my opinion. But then the moment somebody challenges that, you're like,
No,
that's feminism, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
I'd never even called myself a feminist.
You said you were a girl's girl, and then you said you are a feminist because you said last time you were on here that you were talking about femicide and all these things. So this is what I'm talking about is mental gymnastics.
Because
You're
it means
great at
standing
them.
up for women's health and safety, which I think is important just as
feminism.
much as men's.
Am I tripping?
Just because
That's the real definition of feminism, not the new age one.
Just because you stand for you want women to be safe and things like that. I mean,
Yes.
that's necessarily just like a human experience. You want
Right.
that for humans. But when you weaponize your sexuality for a certain means to an end, then maybe that's where the new age feminism is
Would you
coming
rather
in.
cross paths with a random man or a random bear on a hike?
Man.
Okay. Lindsay Lee.
I said man last time, but I'm going to say bear this time.
Didn't you say bear last time? Okay, but you're saying bear this time? Okay, what about you?
Bear.
All right, Jade?
Man. Bear.
Bear. Chloe, what's your take on the man versus bear thing? Do you have a response to the women who picked the bear?
I think the same women that pick the bear, not just you guys, but everybody who picks the bear is going to be the same one that's going to be like, don't generalize me. Don't say all women are this and that. But yet they're like the first ones to just be like, all men are bad. All men are shit. All men are, you're just fucking hypocrites. And you're idiots because bears, first of all, don't just kill you. They kill you. They keep you alive.
Yeah.
They rip you open. They shit in your wounds to mark their territory. And y'all think you're safer with a fucking bear? You're delusional.
No,
The bears don't want y'all either.
most women would just rather have that horrific scenario that you just verbally described happen to them than
'Cause
being
men are so
raped.
terrible. For
Do you
somebody
think-
that's
I'd rather pass.
terrified of men, you sure take money from them all the time.
I never
You
said I was
escort,
terrified of men.
Don't you escort? Did you say that you escort? So you put yourself in situations where you're actually more
Very vulnerable.
likely
I'm gonna
to
let her
come in
finish.
contact with a man who is sexually violent, who is aggressive, who is going to sexually assault
I
you,
don't
who is going to view
escort,
you as an option, as
So
an
you can
object.
keep talking, but I don't escort.
But you just nodded. I asked you if you escorted.
No, I didn't. I said I'll let you finish.
Wait, didn't you say, well, you said you do.
I said I had
sugar
I
baby.
was a sugar baby for 2 years.
Okay.
So escorting.
You are a hoe of any sort. So you thereby have put yourself in a position where you are far more likely to come across a man who is like sexually violent and weird. What I'm not understanding. It's not even like we're using. If you were to ask me, would I rather be alone in a forest with a bear or Diddy? I'm picking the bear. But we're talking about every single like average man here, and you're so deathly afraid of men
I
that
never
you pick
said
the
I was
bear.
deathly afraid of men.
Oh my
I
God,
said
no.
I'd rather be
All
killed
right,
than
next.
raped, hun. That's a different statement.
You could cross a bear, nothing happens, but you could also cross a man, nothing happens.
You have a higher
Yes.
chance of having nothing happen
Yeah, I
passing
agree
the
with
man
that.
than the bear.
I agree with that.
But we're being delusional. Okay.
Wait,
Not in my
question for you.
experience. Like, I don't-
Would you rather walk up to a random bear and pat it on the head, or walk up to a random man and pat him on
She's
the
going
head?
to say the bear because she's the bear cuddler.
No. Basically, when I think about the question, I think about the way people answer it. Anyways, the way that I answer it is a lot of the times, I mean, I don't know. I guess everyone's like scared shitless of bears. Most of the time, you don't even know they're there. But when I think about it, it's kind of like the thought of the possibility. And like you said, yes, I guess it's fear mongering. It could be whatever. The possibility of being raped versus the possibility of nothing versus the possibility of like nothing versus rape or like nothing versus death.
Use essay, please.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Please gotta be careful.
Sorry.
Yeah, but nobody said, would you rather be killed by a bear or raped by a man?
Okay.
So this is
Essayed.
disingenuous. Oh, sorry. Essayed. So it's
can
just
take
a
them down.
disingenuous argument to avoid saying my argument is based off of a logical fallacy. We could just say what it is. That's fine.
Oops.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, I was like, you lost me, honestly. I was like, I was still gonna continue, and then she started talking, and
I feel like you have a lot of opinions for somebody who has experience with only 11 men versus the women who have experience with a lot of men.
That doesn't mean anything.
What is
That doesn't make
What
a
does it mean
difference.
Wait, what
Right.
does that mean?
Okay, so so you're saying I don't have experiences with men?
No, she's saying, I think, that
No,
you,
right,
you,
no,
you
that's
have
what you're saying.
been with enough
Okay.
men to be
Of your
essayed enough to have an
thousands-
opinion on this.
No, wait, Brian. I I grew up on the streets, okay?
The mean
So-
streets of Canada.
Yeah,
The
no,
mean
yeah.
streets of
Why
Canada, eh?
He's from the
Why are you
mean
even
streets
here
of
giving your opinion when
Vancouver.
you're not even a U.S. citizen?
What the hell?
Because what?
Your
What the kind of
arguments
like
are
nationalism
baseless.
is that?
Because
no,
like we're not going to Canada and telling our
You're-
opinions.
mental gymnastics.
You're
You
digging
said,
yourself into a deeper
Hold on.
hole right now.
You said
I know, and
don't-
she keeps just feeding into it.
No, ma'am. You said, I've taken more dicks than you, so I have more experience with men. I'm telling you, I not only grew up in social services, but I grew up on the streets. And where I'm from, if you're a woman on the streets, you either man the fuck up or you get pimped out. I chose not to get pimped out. So I have plenty of experience with men. I have been sexually assaulted. I've actually been sexually assaulted twice by women. And I was molested by my older brother as a child. So don't think for a second that I'm coming here with some naivety to men because I have plenty of experiences with negative men. Does that mean that I'm going to look at those men and say, Brian's going to do the same thing? This gentleman over here is going to do the same thing? 90% of the population is going to do that? No, because I'd be doing myself a disservice. And as women, we should not be living in this constant fear where we think that men are just going to come like rape us and we should be living in the forest with bears. It's a disservice
Nobody
to us.
said we wanted to live in the forest with
You
bears.
know what I'm saying. I'm paraphrasing. I have plenty of experience, and whether I'm American or not, it doesn't matter. I'm right above you guys. This isn't Romania versus the USA. Give me a fucking
I don't
break.
think it should be a fight
Like,
of.
give me a break.
I don't think it should be a fight of
straw
who's
man.
been
Some
essayed
crazy bears
more
in Canada too.
to have a more.
Yeah, literally.
Bears in Canada square up the second they
We have
see
the
you in the
Rocky
woods.
Mountains. Like, we got some.
I think that is a little bit of mental gymnastics to say you rather take an encounter with a bear over a man, just a little bit.
Oh, if you rather be in the woods with a bear or Brian, I'm gonna choose Brian.
Okay, so
obviously.
here's a
Nope,
good
choosing the bear.
example.
Brian's very scary.
You're saying women would pick the bear because men most often commit violent crimes, which is true. Okay, so if Brian were to sit here and say women are the #1 killers of their children in America every year, they are the most to abuse their children and the most to kill them, and then Brian were to say, who would you rather leave your child with, a woman or a cougar?
Oh, that's a good one.
Are you going to sit there and be like, oh, it's the cougar? Because no, you're going to say give it to the woman.
97%
That's a
of
good
all
one,
perpetrators of child sexual abuse is men.
That is unequivocally false, and I
That is
actually
not. Go look it
that's
up. It's
unequivocally
literally
false.
on the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, but you're from
97%
Canada, so you wouldn't know.
abuse
Specifically for
towards
sexual
children.
abuse.
97%. Can you look that up? Can you fact check that?
I think she said specific to sexual abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Abuse in general, though, is
But then, see,
perpetrated by more
again,
women.
your mental gymnastics. I'm saying abuse and murder. Can we stick on that?
Yeah, and my little sister works for social
No,
services.
mental gymnastics.
And
Great,
she
I grew up in it.
literally has
Cougar
had
or a
every
woman?
single case has been
Cougar
a man.
or a woman?
I don't even have a
Yeah,
kid. I don't think I should speak on it since I don't have a child.
There you go. See what I mean? It's
Chloe-
mental
Chloe-
But you said that you're a mother, so that you can speak on
Yeah, and
things
I
of
would pick
mother.
a woman. And I
Right,
was also
okay.
extremely abused by my mother, horrifically. Like, I was locked in a room
That's what's
for
wrong.
a long
Okay.
time. Oh, yeah, you think I have, like, some issues with women? Because, no, it's called having a brain. It's called being
Felt the need to
educated.
fly to America and tell us how we should be.
Why does it matter?
How
Where
do
she-
we-
you were
how do we
born
get on
it.
the-
It doesn't
How do we
matter.
get on the
Why
border
do you keep
conversation?
harping on her being from Canada?
Because it's mental gymnastics.
She doesn't have an
Because this is
argument
about
back to
dating
you.
and
No, she
lifestyle in
doesn't.
America, not Canada.
All right,
It's
just say you
dating.
don't have
They're
to
not
do
even a
modern
fifth of our
dating.
population.
It's modern dating. It's not American dating.
Oh,
It's
notice
modern dating.
We're not talking
I wanna
about
press
dating.
one of the
We were
buttons.
talking about whether or not to
Non-detail.
leave
That's
your
what this
child
podcast is
with a
about.
cougar
It's literally
or a
about
mother.
dating, lifestyle, and
Literally earlier, you said you're not even a U.S. citizen. Why do you get an opinion?
I've had trauma involving men. Doesn't mean that I'm now like lesbian and only want to be with women. I'm still seeing men. I still love men. I still love pleasing men. Like, I'm still going to feel that way towards it. However, am I going to have that trauma response because I have had bad experiences? Yes, but I don't have to treat all men like that because I know it's not all men. But I am saying men have that ability, and men are biologically stronger than us, especially in their upper body. That's just a fact.
I see people use trauma a lot, and trauma, although it's not our fault, it becomes our responsibility.
You have to heal
unfortunately.
from your trauma.
It
way to
is.
say that.
It's
Yes.
not our fault, and it sucks, but it becomes our responsibility. And if we don't take responsibility for our trauma, again, not our fault, but it's our lives. If we don't, we're going to go around this world hurting people, dehumanizing them, devaluing them, stigmatizing them, and fear-mongering them. Whether you're black, whether you're brown, whether you're a gypsy, whether you're white, whether a man, a woman, whatever. So you can't use like, oh, well, it's kind of okay because of
Prostitution's
trauma.
the oldest job in the book. So now you can even monetize that even more
Now you
in
can do it
2025.
and demand to be respected. That's
a little bit of a privilege. But I mean, it's like, well,
And you don't have to be a prisoner of
You can
war
make
for
that
it to
choice.
happen.
You can make that choice now, even in 2025. Like, that's a privilege that you can even go and do that.
When I was a teenager, we used to look out for each other because one of our biggest fears and one of the worst things that could happen was like being sexually exploited or ending up being an escort, a prostitute, being pimped out, being just exploited. And now it's like,
Now women aspire to be that. Women cannot claim trauma response for everything in their life that is hard.
Okay,
so would you?
We're literally having
bro, this
a
is a
conversation
milquetoast-
at a table.
But would you both speak the same way to a man like this about it?
Yes.
If he was,
We'd be wondering what the hell is wrong
I
with
don't
him.
think you would.
I've called Nick a retard the
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking
10
about.
times in
I'm
the
not talking
past
about.
hour.
I'm not talking about you because you're no longer the host.
I don't know
She's
if you're
taking
familiar
over.
with me, but I call out everybody, men, women. My mouth is rated E for everybody. So nobody can claim that I just like take men's side because they get the smoke
That's
too.
literally what your entire like persona online is. Basically, you're a man advocate.
Highlighting
So
male issues. That doesn't mean I support men's wrongs. I'm not a feminist here. I can support men without supporting their wrongs.
feminist is used so loosely, and like you all don't even know what it actually is defined by.
Do you know what
You
the
couldn't
OG
even
definition
speak on
is?
it.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is it?
Go ahead
You
and
say it.
Google
No,
it.
no, no.
Because
You
I'm not
say
going
it.
to
I don't
say
need
word
Google.
for word.
No, no, no.
No, she's,
I'd rather
she's
Google it.
asking if you know it.
You claim
But she's
I don't
using
know.
this
Personally
word when
know it.
okay.
We have
but
a
I
whole-
clearly said beforehand, I love men. I respect men.
You don't
But
act
I
like
don't.
it.
Yeah. So wait, but
See,
what's-
why would I talk if I'm gonna be interrupted?
Right,
What's
okay.
the point?
Let's understand.
What is the
Yeah,
point
yeah.
of this podcast if we're just all gonna be interrupted anyway by one of the two women or three over here?
So what's the definition of feminism?
Go ahead, Chloe.
No, I'm asking you. You
Did you pull it up
accused
on your
me-
phone while you were running away?
No, I know it.
Because you pulled it up on your phone.
And
Nobody's
taking
gonna interrupt you. What is it?
I can Google it for you.
No, you don't know. You accused me of loosely using the term and are even trying to use like weird little petty attacks like me like walking away to Google stuff. So if you're so smart, what's the
Because I don't think
definition?
anyone's emotional response as a precaution, it can be just like very vaguely, labeled as feminism every time.
What does feminism mean to you?
Wanting equal respect, rights, and privilege in society. And when you look at okay, let's give an example of like slavery, right? It no longer exists. But yet we still have sex slaves. Well, I know, but we still have sex slaves today.
Not in the United States.
They're still here.
That's not
There's
true
still
at
plenty
all.
of sex
From
traffickers.
Arizona.
The government, this is literally a fucking crime. No, it is.
True.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So the definition of feminism is the attempt to break down the patriarchal systems of hierarchy that oppress both men and women. So I'm very educated. I know I'm loud.
Do you think corn is oppressive to men?
Yeah.
Who do you think invented corn?
Well, we said that
No.
women were
Who invented? Like, let's say, who started Pornhub? Who invented and started OnlyFans?
a woman started OnlyFans and
But
a man
you're-
started Pornhub. Yeah.
So when you're looking at who's benefiting or who's creating, you can't say it's all women who are creating these problems and creating things that are oppressing men.
Nobody said that. You actually just.
But that's
went
what you are
no,
saying.
You went off
She never
the
said,
rails
and nobody
again.
ever said anything like that.
Yeah, I don't
here.
even know where that's coming from. I'm so confused. It's hard to confuse me, but
It is pretty tough answering a direct question, but once you're giving more context, it's like allowable at that point. So if somebody asks you, what's a feminist? And even she tried to give you another clarifier to you, but there still wasn't an answer that way. Does that make sense?
Well,
he asked her,
because
yes
because they've given examples about like how women can't walk to their car at night and feel like they can safely go to their car at night, and then you guys just try to argue that men are the victims of violent crimes as well. Yes, I agree. I agree that there are men and women who are victims of violent crimes, but men aren't constantly scared that there's going to be a woman behind them who's going to assault them.
Not a woman. They're scared there's a man that's going to assault.
Exactly.
But that's not why that
But it's
came
the
up.
same fear
And
that women
we also-
have. It's not any different.
Yeah.
But
and when
both-
men are
on both sides, the perpetrators are still men.
that's not always
Oh,
the case
so-
though, and it doesn't make all men bad.
I never said it makes all men bad.
So
I'm saying that, don't you think it would be great if we could have a society where, you know, men and women both faced equal consequences? I mean, we've got the whole Epstein stuff going on right now that proves how many people are involved in terrible things.
Most of the
and they've
time,
all been-
actually, when you're talking about consequences, when you're talking about consequences, women generally get lesser consequences than men.
Also-
women generally get lesser punishments than
I-
So
men.
the majority of sex slaves, are they men in the world?
There are men.
Bro, this is what
No,
Lindsay
what's the
does.
majority?
Look, I figured out what
not-
you do.
That's the point. It's women and children.
Stop, both of you. This is what Lindsay's strategy is. When you're trying to have a substantive conversation about anything, any sort of criticisms directed towards feminism or her worldview, she immediately just goes to, well, it's called the fallacy of relative privation. Well, there's PDF files in the world and Epstein, and let's talk about grape. Like, you always want to shift the conversation to like, well, there's other bad things happening in the world, so let's talk about that instead of like having a conversation about the actual topic at hand. That's your strategy for everything.
No, that is-
you
Roma
always
can't
bring
have
in
an opinion
every
'cause
single
she's
conversation,
Canadian.
every single conversation with you. It always devolves down to essay, sex slaves, Epstein, PDF files. That's literally, you have like some weird obsession. It's kind of weird.
Because-
like, we could be having a debate over pineapple on pizza, and you'd be like, well, hold on, fucking Epstein's Island is like fucking You'd fucking lose your fucking mind if you're debating.
Different kind of
Well,
pizza
okay, what do
party.
PDF files prefer? It's fucking weird.
No, I think what she does that, but I think what she also does is when you're challenged with something, when you think you know something, and then someone challenges you, like, you know, someone was talking about privilege, and so someone else responded with a statistic, and you were like, see, like right now you're checking out, you're like, when you hear something you don't like, and when someone's not agreeing with you, you either check out or you have this, like, what are those things called? Rolodex. You have a Rolodex of 5 topics, and you're like, this one, men sleep with goats. There's pedophiles. I've heard the most outrageous shit from you, and it's impressive. Okay? Like, it's impressive. So, round of applause for you.
Thank you.
Again, it doesn't show intelligence at all.
I never even said that.
You never said you were intelligent?
No, but you're just
clear.
constantly projecting all this shit on me.
What am
when
I
I'm not projecting anything on you.
See, but again, right?
So
I just
annoying.
said something to you that you don't like, and you're like, well, you're projecting.
But I
said
don't-
something you didn't
what I
like
don't
earlier,
like-
and you're like, well,
I
walk
think
away.
She has done a master class in gaslighting.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
You would be a terrible person to date. I hope you stay single, actually.
Oh, I am
And see, yeah,
praying
I get it.
I die alone.
Like
Absolutely.
the fights would never
probably
end
will.
because
Super
you just
happy.
keep
1 in 4
convoluting it
singles
and
die alone.
convoluting it until it somehow fits into your little Play-Doh.